How to Form an Opinion, featuring The Last of Us Part 2. Where to even begin? Basically, it's in the title. This isn't a review of The Last of Us Part 2, nor the first part. It's more just a breakdown on how to make an opinion and not sound like a total idiot. This probably won't age well when I sound like a total idiot. That being said, 2 years have gone by. I told myself I'd play The Last of Us 2 when I either got time or it dropped in price after the huge backlash. Everybody, you had to pick a camp. You either had to be an absolute mega fan, it's a masterpiece, 10 out of 10, deserves every award it ever got, or you absolutely have to hate it and it's the worst thing ever created. I think both of those sides are absolutely stupid and embarrassing. I genuinely think anybody that falls into either camp it's just silly. I don't think it does either. I don't think it's the greatest fucking thing ever created since canned sliced bread or whatever, and I don't think it's the worst thing ever. People that say this is like the worst story they've ever seen clearly have never read Domestic Girlfriend. I implore you to read that. Super good use of your time until maybe the last 3 chapters. Worst ending ever. This, where do I even begin? I know I said this wasn't a review, but I do have to get off my chest. I love the first one. The first game is just so much fun. The story is incredible. Am I going to hold this the entire... My hands are already getting tired. That being said, I genuinely love the first game. The gameplay is awesome. And honestly, it's pretty much the same with the second game. The game itself, the gameplay is just... feels so good. I don't really like survival horror or like stealth type games that much. It does both of them. It absolutely nails it, and it just gets you so invested. Even though people like might hate on the story or love the story, it's just so much fun to play. I genuinely think even if you were gonna just never touch it because of the story, play it at least for the gameplay. That being said, the story's not that bad. It's not that great, but it's not that bad. Now I know, you may be wondering, what am I going to put on the screen to make this video super enjoyable and entertaining? Jingle the keys in front of the kids to keep their YouTube attention. Nothing. I'm lazy, I don't feel like editing, fuck it. All 50 of you watched the video anyway, I appreciate you. Now, the actual game, it's just... The important part that I even want to make this video is a subjective and objective standpoint. Subjectively, you can like whatever you want and you can hate whatever you want. If you wish to just hate this game no matter what and never touch it, that's fair. You can do that. I don't care if you play it or not. However, from an objective standpoint, meaning how does it hold up just to a general standpoint, and how is it just good? Yes, I think the gameplay is genuinely polished. It's so much fun. The story, on the other hand, subjectively, I didn't love or hate it. I thought it was enjoyable enough with major flaws and like certain things that don't really add up. Maybe not so much at that point. Everything kind of adds up. It just doesn't really click and it's so disjointed. The pacing is what kills this. At this point, spoilers, you switch between basically the villain and Ellie, the main character, back and forth. And more so back and then hours later forth, very big chunks, so it can really kill the pacing. That being said, I genuinely think they did a good enough job bouncing between the two that made me actually care and actually get kind of invested. I like that it's not super black and white as it feels in the beginning, and it's super hard because I'm not eloquent enough to really put into words how I really mean this. But it makes it so there's not really ever a villain. There are bad guys that are in your way, but at the same time, everybody's kind of their own person, and it feels like that. It genuinely makes me buy into feeling like every character is their own person. And then there's the grunts. But if they're named, which is another big thing, every character in this game is pretty much named, and it makes the combat that much more visceral. It makes you care. When a person screams, Laura, bear, or the dogs, and all the things, you actually kind of feel a little guilty about killing them, but you have to do it, or I guess you could sneak by. That being said, overall, the beginning of the game, it's the painful part, it's the ripping of a band-aid and making you have to experience the death of a character you really care about. That stings a lot, but to be honest, they do justify in a way why it's done. It is a cycle of killing somebody and then getting revenge for killing somebody that knew that person and going back and forth until you break the cycle, but I don't think it's ever really going to be breakable. It's pretty much just a very generic revenge story at the beginning, which I know pisses a lot of people off. Let me finish. It pretty much is just Ellie's part is like they do all the character setup at the beginning, introduce all these characters, and it's like brief, and then it begins the journey of, oh, well, you killed my father figure, so I'm going to come after you. And that's all Ellie's first half, literally like the first half of this game is just a road trip, like picking people off, and they don't even really feel that cathartic. Like 1 or 2 maybe of the revenge kills feel like genuinely like, okay, good, we got him. But it just feels like a stepping stone, and it's not great. It's pretty bland and doesn't really feel like anything special with Ellie. It just feels like you're going through the paces. Then it switches over to Abby, the villain, and it does all this stuff, and a lot of people say like, oh, I'm not supposed to care about you because I hate you. You hurt me, all this childish stuff. I genuinely do feel like they do Abby pretty well, and I actually liked her character a lot, mostly because her story actually has stuff from the first game where it has more world building and more like think pieces and stuff to build off of, and actually gives development to all these characters. I liked that a lot. It actually made it so the more interesting story is the villain's side. But you're just so pissed off because all you wanted to do is just kill them, and now you're like, well, I don't want to play as this. And that's where I think a lot of people get disjointed. That being said, I do think it could have been organized better. My one big piece here in taking an opinion is just, I don't think any of this was bad. I just don't think it was placed properly. I think you should have played a little bit of Ellie instead of all of Ellie's story and then jumping into Abby's and then getting a little Ellie at the end. It should have been Ellie day 1, Abby day 1, Ellie day 2, because it breaks it up into days for each chapter, except it just does day 1 through 3 for one person and then day 1 through 3 for the other. That's silly. I don't really understand why they did it like that, because now I'm just so jarringly like, oh, I gotta restart leveling up all my stuff for another character. It's just like they should have dream dropped it, which I can't believe I'm even fucking saying that for Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, where you kind of bounce back and forth between them. Just like it would have worked so much better for just building up the rapport and how much you care about each character, versus just throwing you into one where you're like, all right, well, we gotta go hunt down these people we know nothing about and just go kill them, which makes sense. But then when you start playing as the person that you're trying to kill, it's like, well, I want this person dead. Why should I care about them? So you're just fighting the urge to hate this character, and it's just, ugh. If they just fed us a little bit here and there, they could have even made the Abby parts shorter. That way they just drip a little bit more to make you care and kind of trick you over time. Like, oh, well, shoot, I know these characters. And also, when you're going through Ellie's part, you're killing off all these people and they're freaking out and they're screaming each other's names, especially the dogs. But you don't care. Maybe it's for replay value, but you don't care while you're going through that. You're like, yeah, got them. I feel guilty because they know each other, but like, whatever. And then you meet them while they're alive on Abby's side, and it's like, oh, but they're already dead, so I don't have to live through the pain. I just think if they just broke it up a little more and just paced it a little bit better, it wouldn't feel like such a drag and a chore to get through. I knew this going in, so I maybe 2 years of copium helped and gone, okay, well, man, they were kind of bad people. They did deserve to die, or I can understand the redemption and breaking the cycle. The ending of kind of cutting off the revenge plot is a little silly and doesn't really verbally say anything to be like, well, why would they do that? But at the end of the day, I do kind of get it. Like I said, it has its problems. The ending is genuinely not like a great one. It's not a bad one either. I think the children need to pull up their fucking briefs and just get their shit together, because trust me, there is far worse stuff in the world than this. It doesn't deserve fucking maybe all of the Game of the Year awards for 2020. I'm sure there was other things that were deserving of some slots. I do still stand in that camp where I don't think it deserved to fucking sweep everything like it did. But I do think it does actually deserve some of the stuff it got. I fall into neither category here. I just feel like there's that gray area in the middle, and that's kind of playing it myself is what helped make this opinion. And again, that's the whole point of this video. It did kind of turn into a review a little bit. Fuck. Whoops. But genuinely, the point of the video to begin with is just make your own opinions for stuff, people. It's not that hard. Use your brain a little bit. Don't just, if you take someone else's opinion and make it your opinion, you're an idiot. You're a fool and a sucker, and you deserve to get scammed. I don't even know what that means. But you don't, just take an extra second. Google it. Do your research. But like, does this make any sense? I genuinely hope this doesn't feel like a total waste of time and I didn't run in circles. I kind of ramble on, so I don't know how to make things super well put. And from a standpoint, I could script it, but then by that point, I lose all interest. The editing of this video is already a half killer. I wish I could just upload it like this is. Honestly, I might just throw some music on the background and just, here's the video. I hope you really did enjoy it. I hope it does help. Just play something. Enjoy it. Or hate it. But don't hate or enjoy or love something unconditionally. Have a condition, have some exposure to something before you make a true opinion. It's genuinely like stuff, honestly, the year before in 2019 with fucking Death Stranding, I already could feel the fucking, no, don't mention it. The Last of Us 2 is actually the first Strand type Last of Us game. It's very divisive and it makes it very hard to make an opinion. The people that hate stuff like Death Stranding or The Last of Us 2 the most are the ones that never fucking played it. Clowns. Squeeze the nose, the big ass fucking Sora Kingdom Hearts shoes. That's 2 Kingdom Hearts, right? I hate Kingdom Hearts. How am I making them? It's just easy to reference. Make a fucking opinion for yourselves. You look goofy if you don't. Give it a shot. If you don't like it, that's fair. If you love it, look at that. You would have never known if you didn't give it a shot. That's the whole point of the video, people. Come on. Come on. Come on! Fucking Cat and Falcon. Yeah, other than that, that's all I really had to talk about for today. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not gonna shill, don't fucking subscribe, fuck you. I hope you have an absolutely great rest of your day. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Yeah. Peace. I got this all crammed. I don't know how to play the theme. I suck at finger picking.